Welcome to Lessons in Life and Love with Riana Milne, where we show you how to have the positive mindset for success in all life areas, so you can grow beyond difficult transitions and evolve from those challenging moments that may have influenced your past but will not define your future. It's time to have the life you desire and the love you deserve, as we teach you the exact skills needed to attract and keep a lasting, emotionally healthy and conscious relationship. Now, please welcome your host, certified life, dating, and relationship coach, trauma professional, and best-selling author, Riana Milne.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday, and welcome to the 38th show and the very last one of my live radio version of Lessons in Life and Love. I'm your host and coach, Riana Milne, coming to you live on the BBM Global Network. You can find this show almost everywhere: iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn. I know I forgot a few of them, but wherever you like to listen, there you'll find it. And the edited version of the podcast is on my website, lessonsinlifeandlove.com. That's where you can find all the archives. While we are on live tonight, it is your last chance. If you have any personal questions you want to call in free of charge, please do. The number is 866-451-1451, and I'll answer your questions right on the spot. I am on a mad mission to change the way the world loves. I'll be talking to you all about how to have emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious love, and how to avoid toxic, painful, traumatic relationships, which do seem too prevalent today. Season 2, which will begin on Friday, May 31st, will be only 30 minutes, and it will consist of live laser coaching with some fabulous volunteers who are just like you and me, with some everyday issues and common problems, that are volunteering to be on that mission with me. They want to make a difference and step up and share their story, so they'll be getting about 15 minutes of laser coaching, and then they will be free to go, and I will be giving a further lesson for about 10 to 15 minutes to everyone about their issue and how I can help even further. It's a new type of concept. It'll be 30 minutes. I am off Memorial Weekend, going away for a few days. Can't wait. I will be back on the podcast version, which will be released on your favorite app and the website May 31st. So I am all about helping you transform your life in all areas, including love, into the one that you are passionate about. And I want you to attract and have that love that you deserve. So let's dive in. Love, angels, and transformers. Our show tonight, I'm ending it on a positive note. It's on positivity and spirituality, the Watch Me mindset for success, and covering some teachings of Ernest Holmes, who developed the science of the mind, which is really a phenomenal philosophy. So I'll share a little bit of that with you tonight. This information is for everyone, whether you're a woman, man, younger, older, straight, or LBGT. This info is for everyone. So if you have a personal concern, again, call in tonight at 866-451-1451, or I invite you to meet with me this week or next week for a Life and Love Transformation Discovery Session. And you can sign up for one of those on my website, rianamilne.com. And by the way, if you want to be on the Season 2 podcast series, just apply at rianamilne@gmail.com, and I'll give you all the details you will receive for volunteering to share your everyday concern with others. The free coaching laser session, which is a $250 value. The free book of Live or Love Beyond Your Dreams. It will be signed and shipped to you free of charge anywhere in the USA. And 10% off a coaching program of your choice, which will save you $150 to $1,500. So, hey, for 15 minutes of helping other people, I think that's a pretty good deal. So as I've been ending the last few lessons of this month, I want to start with a positive motivational reading from the book, Always Believe in Yourself and Your Dreams. It's a Blue Mountain Arts collection. And this reading is from Paula Finn. It's called You're on the Journey of a Lifetime. A journey no one else will travel and no one else can judge. A path of happiness and hurt where the challenges are great and the rewards even greater. You're on a journey where each experience will teach you something valuable, and you can't get lost, for you already know the way by heart. You're on a journey that is universal yet uniquely personal, and profound yet astonishingly simple, where sometimes you will stumble and other times you will soar. You'll learn that even at your darkest point, you can find a light if you look for it. At the most difficult crossroad, you'll have an answer if you listen for it. Friends and family will accompany you part of the way, and you'll walk the rest by yourself, but you will never be alone. Travel at your own pace. There'll be a time enough to learn all you need to know and go as far as you're meant to go. Travel light. Letting go of extra baggage will keep your arms open and your heart free to fully embrace the gifts of the moment. You may not always know exactly where you're headed, but if you follow the desires of your heart, the integrity of your conscience, and the wisdom of your soul, then each step you take will lead you to discover more of who you really are, and it will be a step in the right direction on the journey of a lifetime. Wow, what a powerful writing. Love, love, love that one. This book's one of my favorite books. I find these cool books in the neatest places when I travel. I bring them home, and I'm so happy to be able to share them with you. This next reading I want to go into, I'm working for like 6 different sources tonight because it's my last show with you all on BBM, and I kind of wanted to leave with some positive and personal messages. This is something I wrote while I was on a cruise ship floating in the middle of the ocean, and I just love travel. It sets my soul free. Yes, of course, I love my work and motivating you all in the world in the best way that I can. But there's just times when I can just stop and enjoy nature and water and history and architecture that it just opens my heart and my mind to writing. As you know, I've been writing since I've been a teenager, and I have 7 books. My 8th book will be on trauma. I've been writing it. It's 100 pages in. I do have to find the time to write that one and finish that one off, and you'll be hearing all about it as soon as I do. But this I wrote, it's called The 4 Pillars of Happiness: Meaning, Purpose, Belonging, and Connection. And again, it's just thoughts that I had in the middle of the ocean. Feeling stuck in the past comes from fear of vulnerability, people seeing the real you. Your childhood wounds have created scars on your psyche, and the ego has found ways to protect the scars from being seen. Coping strategies have taken over and then became normalized in your adult world as a form of protection from feeling of not being good enough. Once you can tap into your realities from both childhood and your feelings now as an adult, the childhood wounds become completely healed through the life and love transformation coaching that I have developed for you. Then you live in bliss and pure peace where heaven is reached. The clouds become the oceans and nothing else exists. For a moment, I can allow myself and just feel pure peace and pleasure. When I write about past childhood, dating, or relationship trauma, it's not from a place of blame or to evoke pity for my story or for yours, to put you down or give you reasons to stay stuck from moving on from childhood emotional trauma, or to stay chained or bound to the old stories you tell, to maybe feel loved through receiving pity or sorrow from others. Since 90% of us, and me included, suffered in the past from childhood or love trauma, or the secrets we had to hide from the world to normalize our lives, leaving us for years to let our unconscious triggers and fears rule our lives and ruin our relationships. Eventually, you and I and all must stop and get off the merry-go-round of this dramatic life, leaving the land of pretend to face our fears and the truths of how we were affected in both life and love, and ask why. Why in the past would I have been attracted to toxic partners? Why do my partners do what they do to sabotage a perfect love? Why do I find it so hard to forgive? And then when I do, that seems to be a free ticket to our partners to stab you in the heart all over again. Where is the insane ability to trust a second time, or are we too forgiving? Why do you find it so hard to forgive in the first place? Is it because you'll be hurt again? Or are they testing your capacity to love? Or do they not really know what they do, nor understand the sheer obvious destruction that repeat offending does to the innocent partner? When does a faithful partner say, "That's enough. I call it quits. Despite the love that I have for you, I have to love myself more"? You see, we're all the same. We're all perfectly imperfect human beings, being alive in a world of bliss and sorrow, happiness and pain, love and loneliness. Yes, we want the bliss parts to last forever, but the reality is often they cannot or they will not for us. So then what must you do? The secret is to develop the mindset of inner love and self-love and peace when things go wrong. If we lose our lover, mourn the death of a loved one, lose a treasured job, get ripped off by those we trusted, feel disappointment when we expected perfection, then our expectations cloud our realities. And when the reality comes, you could enter into a deep depression for the expectation of that dream to be perfect. It's gone wrong. Or you can accept the situation with grace and strength and trust that this too shall pass. I must tell you, the mindset for success is everything. I recently had a dear friend and a loved one say, "How did you get so strong to be able to pick up the pieces time after time in my relationships?" And the answer was, I really had no choice. I had 2 little girls to support, and I wanted to make a difference in the world. It was my purpose and my passion that was born of my pain that made me pick up the pieces and say, I can love myself more. Much of the answers for me were in gratitude and faith. I start my days with gratitude through silent prayer and meditation to remind me of all the blessings I do have, so that when a rare blue mood may arise, I realize that I have nothing to complain about. I travel the world to remind me how blessed I am to not only live in America, but also to be a woman who can wear what she chooses, choose to marry or divorce, and also even drive a car to where I want to go. These common things are much of our blessings. Super blessings are those miracles. My daughters and my grandsons, seeing both my daughters Stefana and Alexi grow into amazing, loving, very successful women, despite the hardships that they had to endure with me being a single mom after a very difficult marriage and divorce. Despite me trying my best, my children did endure childhood trauma also, something I did not know about when I was raising them. All I could do was love and support them the best that I could, and with little or no help. I wanted them to understand that I love them with all my heart, despite making mistakes that I hurt them. I was in survival mode most of my life, to make a living, to give my girls a good home, some vacations and life experiences that they would treasure along the way. Looking back, it was all perfectly imperfect. Despite my flaws, my girls turned out amazing. And I thank God for this super blessing, this wonderful miracle. And I've also added to my family 2 wonderful young men that I call my sons. My son-in-law, Charles, who it's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Charles. And Preston. And of course, my 3 grandsons from their unions. Faith got me through the toughest of times, and I encourage you to find a faith that you believe in and practice. I am not talking about religion. That is created of man, but of faith. This does not require a church or a temple service, but it is a way of being 24/7. It is a living life with consciousness and asking yourself always, is this action for the good of all? It's asking for help when you are afraid, tapping into your higher power and intuition to guide you, to help you find your best answers. It allows you to go easy on yourself when times get tough, not putting yourself down, but cheering yourself up and telling you can get through this, even when you made a human mistake. It is important in life to sometimes just stop. Sometimes I'm guilty of working many hours due to trying to prove I was good enough to my mother for many years. And as an adult, I understand consciously my mom only wanted the best for me, and we were very close as she got older. In her years after 80, she finally stopped to give me compliments for my many achievements, yet the workaholic often remained. When I stop for a period of time, like going for a vacation, it reminds me to slow down and really enjoy my life. Just be, and not push so hard. Trust that God's got me. Just breathe. Focus on purpose and how I can best help and serve others. Just exist in the present moment and not feel guilty over a day, a week, or even 2 weeks off, as I'm taking in a vacation now at this moment, sailing the beautiful ocean to places I've always dreamed to visit since being a little girl. I feel blessed I'm able to just stop running, multicasting, scrambling, worrying, and just be, and take the time to reflect. What do I want to do now? This question I often ask myself at important periods of my life, like during my birthday, New Year's Eve, where I often meditate for about an hour, during a vacation, and even after a breakup. What is next on that bucket list that I want to experience, to say yes to, by pushing past any lingering fears from being that shy, fearful young girl who felt not good enough while I was in school? Yes, I was shy. I know many of you that know me would not believe it, or if you knew me now. But it is when we risk, when we dare to be different, to take on a project that most won't complete, and you do, that brings you way beyond childhood trauma into the adult that you always dreamed you could be, and to live and love beyond your dreams. Part of me delayed this trip, wanting to experience it with a love partner, and at 60 I said, well, now is the time, and I must live my life and go beyond my dreams, or my chance will never come. After all, I had lived most of my life this way. Why did fears and guilt of treating myself to such a trip to Bali still creep in? I knew I worked hard. I knew I was worthy of such a trip. So I said yes to myself without much hesitation, and did this trip with my best friend Robin this time. After learning to say yes to yourself and turn to faith during the tough times, and indeed this practice becomes so much easier and done on a regular basis. As does saying no thank you to a possible partner that you're dating who is not right for you early on in the dating process. You learn not to accept the crumbs, lies, ghosting, or other non-authentic or disrespectful behaviors. When you have come from childhood trauma, often we have hung in there long past when a relationship has come to a natural ending. Why do we do this? Society says we should, or the vows that we took said we should. Parents said we should. The rules for women say that we should. All these shoulds from family and society sabotage our self-esteem. When we have the guts to say, I won't take this anymore, and try to end a relationship with love and respect and friendship, we keep our own self-esteem intact. Yes, we still have the societal norms to get through the belittling of their 20-plus year marriages who have hung in there and followed society rules, but many only to live a loveless, boring, or abusive life because they were too afraid to leave. We have to trust ourselves more. And for me, that means God's got me. And each time I choose to leave an emotionally abusive situation or choose to have loved myself more, this always has worked for me. This also kept me from returning back to the fears of childhood trauma. This road less traveled that I took looking back over the years was not the popular one or the one society wanted me to follow. But I refused to endure abuse of any kind, especially after experiencing the death of my best friend Corinne at age 25, who was murdered by her boyfriend. And after trying many times to get the partner to stop any type of abuse, of course I realized I could not change them, but I could change myself and what I chose to have right in my life and the reaction to their abusive behavior. I chose to leave the relationship and create the life that I loved, and with time, open to love again. Some would call me an original or an A personality type or strong. I just called it survival and a refusal to return to the dynamics that was childhood and love trauma from my past. It is not always easy to be different by living my life on my terms, yet being extremely conscious that I am not hurting others creates a life that I can treasure, full of experiences I wanted to have before my time was done. Who's to say the longer 20-year marriage is the right way to have a relationship, or instead having a series of wonderful love relationships that you enjoyed until their ending somehow emerged? The teaching of Buddha says every relationship teaches you a lesson, so it is important to take the time to reflect on what you can do better and differently after a relationship ends, and what qualities you now desire in a future partner and what you want to be sure to avoid. Since 90% of us humans have endured some childhood trauma, how do you find an emotionally healthy partner? I go deep into what the research says in the emotionally healthy, evolved, and conscious relationship and what that looks like in section 4 of my book, Love Beyond Your Dreams. The most important thing is having the same values and a future vision for your life together. What are your purposes as a couple? What will bring you meaning both individually and together? What are your activities that you will enjoy together? Do you share the same degree of faith? Has similar character traits? Is there even mood management? And has your partner done the work they needed to do to overcome their childhood trauma by understanding it and healing from their past pain? These are all very important factors for when you're dating and looking for a partner. Real love comes from emotional connection and friendship that builds trust over time. It is not the rush of lust and fast sexual togetherness. That's just lust. It's not love. Over time, you build a loyal friendship, develop a clear vision, allow each other space to grow and learn, be supportive of each other's goals and dreams, have a love of family bonding, and a deep sense of peace, along with a passion for love, adventure, and growth, both individually and together. This is love. Having written this quite a while ago, I'm so glad I had the strength to stay single instead of settle, to not follow only my own rules, but the rules of research, and to meet someone absolutely wonderful. And I have. Someone who is emotionally healthy, kind, conscious, honest with deep integrity, fun, loving, passionate yet calm, peaceful and caring, who makes me feel truly cherished, a partner ready to take on the future together, one beautiful day at a time. This is what I wish for myself and for you. Trust that you can attract this type of love. If you need help to realize this dream, remember, I'm always here for you. In session 2 of the podcast, various people, like I said, who have followed my work for years are volunteering to share their journey with you, their concerns, their issues, and their dreams. Seasons 2 show will be 30 minutes, and I will do laser coaching for these beautiful people who share my mission of wanting to change the way the world loves. And after their coaching, I'll teach a lesson to all the listeners based on our discussion to help everyone even further. If you want to be a part of this, again, just volunteer to be on the show. Write me at rianamilne@gmail.com, and I look forward to hearing from you. That was just a writing I wanted to share. As I said, I wrote it on a trip. I get very introspective and spiritual sometimes on my travels, and it's nice to sit and write. This next reading is from my book, Live Beyond Your Dreams, From Fear and Doubt to Personal Power, Purpose, and Success. It's from the chapter, What is the Watch Me Motivational Mindset? And this is something I developed as I was leaving a toxic marriage, and the opening explains exactly what I had gone through as a young woman with 2 little girls. At 26 years old, I also went through a $750,000 bankruptcy due to his business decisions, not the ability to get a loan. I opened up my desired dream business of having a model and talent school and agency with my first month's rent and a lot of prayers. And within 6 months, it became an international award-winning model and talent school. And this was a time period. It was very short between when Corinne died. She died when I was 25. And I just developed this whole mindset for success, that how much time do I have? What are my dreams? I want to make sure I fit in my dreams and my goals before my time to go. So I was teaching my models to be successful and actors from Erie, PA. And we would do something called IMTA, International Model and Talent Association, and compete in July in New York and LA in January. And these were people that had dreams to be actors, models, singers, dancers. And the ones that went had a 100% success rate of being picked up by a top talent agency or modeling company, as well as one dancer made the Rockettes. One singer's dream was to sing and get a record offer, and he did. He got several. It was just so beautiful being a part of building people's dreams. And that's kind of what I've done my entire life. People that, wait, you're a model and talent agent, you're a minister, you worked in schools as a trauma counselor, you'd had all these careers. But every one of those careers took people that were afraid to go for it, and somehow I could motivate them to reach the dreams that they really wanted their entire life. This is the mindset that I teach in my coaching. and we'll give you a little taste of it. The Watch Me mentality is simply an inner motivational program that helps you reach your goals, dreams, desires, and purpose. It is a motivational self-talk system that helps you ease your stress, your anxiety, and any overwhelming depression during a difficult challenge or transition in life. Humans are normally quick to jump to fear-based thinking when faced with an unexpected traumatic situation. They can also be quick to go into the pity me attitude and feel sorry for themselves, retelling the stories to their friends of the injustice that were forced upon them over and over again. This negativity comes from the overwhelming emotional pain and faulty coping system that we developed in childhood. There is a better way to handle unplanned, painful, challenging transitions. I discovered this for myself when I was only 26 years old and 2 small daughters. My husband's business failure had left us with $750,000 in debt. I was afraid, stressed out, depressed, and anxious, and I knew I had to do something drastic to change my life. When I told my husband I wanted a divorce because I couldn't take the stress of his poor financial and business decisions any longer, he tore apart my model and talent office. It looked like a hurricane hit it, and everything that I had built with just poor energy in my first month's rent was destroyed. Looking at the mess of his tantrum, he screamed, "Watch how far you'll get in this town without my last name." And with all this energy, I just said, "Watch me." I said it boldly. I didn't know where the strength had come from, but it signified my newfound confidence that I could do anything if I set my mind to it and become the woman I knew I could be. I knew my life couldn't get any worse. It was time for a change and to reinvent myself for a better life for my daughters and I. I didn't know exactly how to do it in that moment, but I knew I was ready. And remember when I teach the lessons of the 7 Ds? The first thing is decide. And it was the birth then of the Watch Me attitude and the new mindset that would change the rest of my life. The Watch Me mindset is not walking around with a sense of entitlement or an arrogant, selfish, self-centered personality or a defiant attitude. No, it's just the opposite. The program consists of a constant mental, positive self-talk, daily reflection or meditation, and following the core lessons and spiritual principles with every choice that it makes. The Watch Me mindset also includes clarifying what you want and need in a healthy relationship. It's important to know the traits that a healthy, evolved person has and to know what a toxic person is and have the strength not to settle for an unhealthy relationship. In case you don't know of my lessons, a toxic person is someone who is negative, controlling, angry, addicted, demanding, or demeaning, someone who lacks integrity, constantly lies, or tries to hold you back from your higher purpose because they lack their own self-esteem or purpose in life. When you are an evolved spiritual human being, you will find you cannot possibly endure a toxic relationship that is full of anger, deceit, or abuse. Having the inner strength to move forward, release this person in love, and get out of the toxic relationship is often difficult, especially for a woman with children to support. I know, as I've had to do this myself. Even though it is not easy, you will develop this inner strength to do whatever it takes to have peace in your life for you and your children. That is one passage. Now I'm going to go into another one. This is from A Sense of Spirituality is Essential. Your self-esteem flows from your beliefs. You cannot believe that you are a loving child of God and still have low self-esteem. To change your self-esteem, you need to have high motivation to live in the spiritual way. Self-esteem improves as you release your anger and eliminate the fear of change. You have 2 choices in every decision you make: to deal with your situation with love or fear. If fear rules you, then you have the faulty negative belief system, usually arising from painful childhood messages. Fear impedes your ability to receive any spiritual gifts, but this can disappear when your belief system changes. How to accomplish that change is the process of coaching. And remember, you always have a choice for every decision to approach it with either love or fear. Fear gives rise to anger in how you see yourself and how you choose to see others. When your ego controls your life and you don't trust in your higher power, your ego becomes superior and you'll live a fear-based ego-based life. You hurt yourself if you feed the ego, and how you experience the world mirrors your beliefs and your feelings. What you see or believe is what you get. This is also known as one of the karmic laws. Evil, pain, problems, arguments, anger, revenge, or jealousy are all experiences you create in your own mind with a controlling and ego-based belief system. So instead, you want to learn the mindset for success. The ego, our dark side, is in a constant tug of war with our inner light. The Holy Spirit is a message within us, given to us by God. When you tap into this light, the light side of you, the divine within you, the universal spirit, along with the answers and miracles will constantly come to you. The separation from God was caused by choosing fear, which is the ego, instead of love, which is God's light, trust, and spirit. Replacing pain with joy requires replacing your ego-based beliefs with messages from your inner spirit. The power struggle between fear and love choices keeps you in turmoil known as hell on earth. Anger means you're choosing fear, which makes you project your own insecurities onto others. Your perception creates your reality. If you choose love, you will live in love and peace, which is heaven on earth. If you choose fear, you will live in your ego world full of fear, anger, power struggles, resentment, and chaos, which is what we call hell on earth. That's, again, from Live Beyond Your Dreams. You can find free chapter downloads of Live and Love Beyond Your Dreams on my website, rianamilne.com. It's like the first 50 or 60 pages of both books. And since it's my last show, let me tell you all the freebies that I have prepared for you over the years. There's also free love tests on there. And when you download them, you can complete them and send them back to me, and I'll be glad to interpret them for you. You can also get the new app that's out. It's called Lessons in Life and Love on the Go. And that's at bit.ly, bit.ly/Riana Milne app. Real easy to remember. The ebook that goes more into the childhood traumas, it's at havetheloveyoudeserve.com. That's havetheloveyoudeserve.com. Of course, I am on Alexa every day. If you have an Alexa device, you can get the link. You can get all my announcements on my Facebook page. That's Coach Riana Milne, and it's a public page. I post everything there. All the links are always there. My summits, my interviews, my podcasts, and the Alexa link will be there. And you just go to skills. It's under lifestyles and put in Lessons in Life and Love, and it pops up. If you do download it, all you have to say every day is, Alexa, what's my flash brief? And it plays for you. So that's a 2-minute lesson to inspire you and teach you a lesson every day. You can find my books also on Amazon and other online platforms. They are rated 5 stars. And the book, Love Beyond Your Dreams, Break Free of Toxic Relationships to Have the Love You Deserve, has gone to #1 on Amazon in couples therapy, women in spirituality, and #2 in psychology out of 500,000 books. So that's pretty good. Now I want to go into some lessons from Ernest Holmes. And he has developed the science of mind. And there are the Centers for Spiritual Living all over the country. And that is their spiritual center where you can get a lesson on Sundays. If you Google search it, you'll find one in your area, I hope. It's a really wonderful blend of psychology, philosophy, faith. And it's interesting because people of all faith really love this philosophy. When I'm in my church center, I could be sitting next to someone who's Jewish or Muslim or Catholic or Christian. It's just more of a way of being. So I'll share some of this writing for you. Again, this is all from Ernest Holmes. I'm pulling from 2 books and 5 internet writings to compile this information for you to have it make a little bit more sense. And when I say the word God, it's whoever you see him, her, or it to be. They describe God as more of an energy within you, a spiritual concept. Another approach to positivity is through the science of the mind, a philosophy that I follow, which developed by the teaching of Ernest Holmes, who created the New Thought movement by combining the best of science, religion, and philosophy. It teaches that every person controls the course of their own life. Success or failure, health or sickness, happiness or disappointments. The universal law says we are all seen as physical, mental, and spiritual beings. And the world we seek can be achieved here and now, not just in the ever after. You know, when people keep saying they're on this journey, oh, I'm working towards this, or I'm working hard so in 10 years I can have the life that I want, or I'll travel in 40 years, I'll work really hard, then I'll start traveling. My dad was someone like that. Family traveled every year to Key West, which is one of my treasured spaces in the world because of our family memories. But we never took those dream trips that he talked about. And then he died at 67, way too young. Part of that taught me that, live life now. And that was one thing that I always did as my kids got older, once they were beyond teenage years. For my birthday, I always planned a very special trip to some foreign land, not in the U.S., some foreign land where I could learn about history and see temples and Parthenon and these amazing things that if you've never seen them, I would say don't wait. We don't know how much time we've been given. Do take advantage of seeing the world. It's just amazing. Don't plan for the ever after. Plan for the now. Plan for this moment and this year. We are all divine expressions of God, and with a simple, practical course of action and beliefs that we can bring about changes to create the life one desires. God is the very source of our beings. We are of one mind with God, and we are in communication with each other on a deep spiritual level. When we act in harmony with God, we bring about results that improve the nature and the quality of our lives and those around us. We apply these laws of God to bring about health, abundance, success, creative activity, love, peace, and happiness. We apply these spiritual laws to bring about practical and positive results in our lives. Some of the core concepts of the science of mind, philosophy. Ernest Holmes said that by changing the way we think about our conditions causes the power of the universe to change those conditions to make our lives better. There are 10 core spiritual principles that apply equally to everyone in every situation, and it teaches us how to use them for our advantage. I'll go into them. The first one is oneness. God is the source of all that is. 2, triune nature. God expresses himself in 3 aspects: spirit, soul, and body. And humans have the same 3 aspects. 3, creative nature. All human accomplishments originate in thought. All human thinking process is a reflection of the divine creative process. 4, all good is eternally available and ready to flow into human experience. We activate this flow by affirmation, prayer, or meditation. The spiritual mind treatment increases our consciousness of good eternally flowing into us. And 5 is wholeness. As humans, we have free will and can choose what we experience, whether it be positive or negative. The same principle that brings us freedom, prosperity, and joy also allows us to experience bondage, lack, or misery, all according to what our consciousness chooses. So you want to learn to develop this mindset for success. All my clients know who have gone through such beautiful transformations. They come to me with fear, anxiety, bouts of depression, breaking up from a severely toxic relationship or abusive love over many years, or coming out of a marriage where they were cheated on or disrespected. That's how I greet my people, with love and open arms. And when they learn this mindset for success, their whole world changes. Almost everyone I work with gets a promotion while they're with me, or they hated their job. That's one of the things they come to me for, and they change into a new job that they absolutely love. Everything increases. The flow of abundance is huge and obvious. Financial, friendships, family love improves. Parents that struggled with their children change and grow and become more successful in what their chosen endeavors are and have more direction in their life. I watch my daughters through what we had gone through, the 3 of us, with marriages and moving and the problems that had occurred for us. And they became also strong. I was teaching them the mindset for success since they were very young, because I had studied the masters counselor since my 20s, my early 20s. I was studying the Course of Miracles since age 19 and 20. I was teaching my girls this, and they were listening to tapes on long trips and listening to these pros. And last night, I'm sitting there in bed watching my daughter, Alexi Panos, in this movie called The Abundance Factor, and she's there with the top spiritual leaders, Joe Vitale, Bob Proctor, John Assaraf. There's many more in there. And here's my kid, right? I mean, how beautiful is that? And I will put on Coach Riana Milne the link so you can see that movie. Hopefully you can still get to it. And, if you can have this mindset, imagine how far your kids can go. She's in Australia coaching now. She coaches around the world with her husband, Preston. And she has found emotionally healthy love because she knew what not to date when she saw me through my process. And Stefana has an amazing man in her life. And she has come to very high successes in all her chosen careers as well. You can change your life anytime you decide to. That's the power of it. Well, that's what I teach my clients, and they go and soar and become so much bigger, larger than life. They end up with amazing love in their life. I'm so grateful to be able to have this blessing of helping people that share their life with me. The rest of the core principles, those were the first 5. Okay, the rest. Number 6, abundance. All that anyone will ever need or desire is already provided by universal abundance. Every person is heir to the riches of creation without regard to merit. So what's that saying is anyone can tap into their highest creation. Look at people that didn't go to school and created out of their own genius or will. Steve Jobs, beautiful example. So many young entrepreneurs today are just following their bliss and saying, I don't want to go to college. I don't think that's my calling. And they're making a beautiful run of it, right? I'm seeing that a lot of my kids' friends. College is right for some, but it's not right for all. Like, what are their dreams? And feed those dreams and believe in their dreams. When my daughter, Lexi, said at 15, I want to go be a singer, that's when Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera was out. I hate to say it, her own father laughed at her and said, that's an effing joke. I said, let's do this. 2 total opposite ways of being. That's, another reason that I couldn't stay in that relationship. We started with believing in her dream. The decision, what do you want to do, is the first of the 7 Ds. She decided, but it was my step as her parent, and when she wasn't driving, to make that happen. As the laws of karma would have it, putting that out there to the universe. Aren't I down in South Beach? She's up interviewing with a top producer at the time in New York, and I'm down and I run into Ja Rule at Club Opium. And at that time, he was at the top of the charts singing with J-Lo and Ashanti. And I just went up to him. I said, I have the perfect new artist for you for your new label. And he looks at me in shock and says, how do you know I have a new label? Nobody knows I'm having a new label. I don't know how I knew. It just came to me. So these are what we're talking about. Course of Miracles. These are the miracles that happen. These are the miracles of intuition that come to you. This is the source of confidence to just do it, where a lot of people would say, no, I'm not going to go up to that person. He's in the VIP section. He's a star right now. No, I was called to do it. It was a divine intervention. I was supposed to meet him. Long story short, she's on 3 multi-platinum CDs. She traveled around the world singing, ends up in Africa, comes off one of the tours singing, gets into the bus, sees all these poor, hungry children, and said a prayer to herself, I will be back to help you. And she told me, Mom, I don't know what to do. I'm 19. I have no money. I'm not famous. How can I help these kids? I have this calling. I said, you are brilliant. You have a heart of gold. You're going to figure this out. And her best friend, Tennille, wanted to do something too, who's from Trinidad. And they created EPIC, EPIC, Everyday People Initiating Change. And they went ahead and they started to put in water wells. And now 14 water wells are in villages for 3,000 to 6,000 people. So that first stream, to be a singer, segued into changing the world as a 20-year-old, right, working through the United Nations. And I couldn't go with her. I stayed, but she connected with the United Nations and she was able to do this work. And then she segued into TV and modeling. And it's amazing when she had this mindset for success, whatever she wanted, she got. And this is what this is saying. So this is not far-fetched, guys. I'm telling you, it has worked for me and my family. Okay. And everyone that I coach, it's working for them. Please, if you think like, yes, I want this mindset for success, how do I do it? This is what I teach. Okay. This is part of my life coaching. The next one, reciprocal universe. What we receive corresponds to what we imagine and believe we can receive, which I just told you the story, which is called the law of mental equivalence. The golden rule that what we do to others will also be done unto us is known as the law of cause and effect. Always put out goodness in your heart. I tell my people the line, is it for the good of all? And always choose to make sure that you're doing something that won't hurt others. 8, forgiveness. There can be no place for divine anger, unforgiving, or punishment. If we perceive a need for forgiveness, this is a human condition. Human forgiveness frees us to live in the eternal now. That means living in the present moment, which is the essential step before real spiritual growth can flourish. The ultimate goal of life is the complete emancipation from any discord or anger of any kind. So you must find a way to forgive your past partners and move on. We call it release them in love. And there's 3 ways to say goodbye. I say goodbye, good luck, and God bless. I wish you much happiness. I wish you much love. If in a coincidence I've run into one of them, I would always give them a hug and say, hey, how are you? Are you okay? And that's who I am. And it's because of this divine ability to forgive. Forgiveness is one of the hardest spiritual things you can do when someone has really hurt you, but it's so important that it then again opens your heart and your mind to love again. Number 9, immortality. Life never ends. What we call death is simply the changing of one form of life for another. Death, the belief and perception that life must come to an end, is a human concept. As in birth, the invisible becomes visible. And in dying, the visible again becomes invisible. Life continues on in another plane. And then 10, the Christ. Christ is not a person, but a principle and universal presence. And the universal image of God is present in all creation and within every person. Abundance, the golden rule, forgiveness, continuation of spirit, and being perfectly in one with God gives us all the unlimited power to create the life that we truly desire. This is a little bit of the teachings of Ernest Holmes. So if my clients are listening to this, they're like, oh, yes, what Riana's talking about, this is what we've learned. This is totally what they learn. And it's very exciting when you get this stuff. Dr. Holmes teaches that our thoughts are creative energy that we can use to create the life we desire. Negative thinking creates and attracts an unwanted negative life. So we must only think of what we do want. We use our thoughts to form our world, and we must make visible things from our unseen forces. We attract in our life what we mainly think about. So you must only think about what you want. If you want a certain type of partner, think exactly of who that partner would look like, be like. Who are they? Most importantly, on the inside, what is their personality? What is their character? And when you see it, oh my God, it's like, that's it. Believe me, I've just experienced this. I could have 250 dates. I'm like, nope. And then it's like, yes, this is the one. And so you are so clear in your formation of who is right for you. So you want to know exactly what you want. We use our thoughts to form our world. For example, if you want money, believe that you have more than enough money. You see it coming to you from all directions. You believe it, and you feel that the universe is bringing you the amount of money you need, and be thankful for receiving it. When you do receive it, say, thank you, God, for sending this to me. When we work, we must believe we are working with an infinite power, which never makes mistakes or fails. If there is an error, we just go to out-of-the-box thinking and saying, okay, let me try it another way. Eliminate doubts or fears of taking on new projects and challenges. Finally, think positively about God, that God is good and only wants good things to happen to you and for you. You must thank Him for all the goodness and know that you already have what you want and what is still to come to you. It's on the way. You will be led out of your hardships if you have a constant positive attitude towards God. Sit and meditate or pray quietly and feel the Creator guiding you. Ask Him, which is our step forward in our meditation. God, what do you want me to know? And trust the ideas that come into your mind and learn to act on your positive intuition and messages that you receive. And again, if you need help in overcoming your negative, anxious thoughts, do reach out to me for help at rianamilne.com. On my homepage at my website, for a first-time offer for only $47, I give you a full hour. It's a $500 value to sit and talk to me about where you're stuck, what's coming up for you, what childhood or love trauma you might have experienced, and that could be holding you into a fear-based mindset, and what is your next best step to get you to that life that you desire and to have the love that you deserve. You learn so much in 1 hour. I can't begin to tell you. That's something that you think would be helpful. Just reach out to me for that at rianamilne.com. The divine mind is one which conceives all ideas already exist. The basis of mental conflict arises between the patterns of thought from a deeper spiritual side of nature and the unconscious subjective thought patterns that comes from one's environment or the world that they believe to be true. And that means childhood origins as well. We know that unconscious patterns repeat themselves regularly, and they argue back and forth with each other from what you want and what's holding you back. So these unconscious thought patterns is what we change to make you consciously aware so that you can live that life of positivity and joy and bliss and love and passion, because that is how we are meant to be. I am getting the 2-minute warning, and I wanted to thank publicly Abraham for all his help over the year. My dear, thank you so much for your patience and being right on point with me. The final reading is, let your dreams take you wherever you want to go. Follow your dreams and they will lead you to the road that you were born to travel. As you take the next step in life's journey, remember to always listen to the voice inside your heart. Believe in yourself, because you are a very special person with so many gifts and talents. May the days that lie ahead bring you all the happiness and success that you deserve. And I couldn't have said it better myself. That's from Jason Bloom from the books Always Believe in Yourself and Your Dreams. Keep up your spiritual readings to stay in spiritual faith, because that keeps you so motivated to have a beautiful day, beautiful week, beautiful month, beautiful year, beautiful life. That's the way it works. Okay, love angels and transformers, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for tuning in tonight and all year long on BBM Global Network. Do tell your friends who you love and care about to join us for season 2 of Lessons in Life and Love, starting Friday, May 31st. And you can hear it on your favorite app or on lessonsinlifeandlove.com. I always appreciate you sharing the love and helping me change the way the world loves. Please also take a moment and give me a 5-star rating and a comment on what you liked about the show and want to learn in the upcoming episodes and season 2 in Lessons in Life and Love. You can easily share the show from the main website, lessonsinlifeandlove.com. Remember to reach out for help should you need it at my website, rianamilne.com. Take advantage of that $47 first-time offer for the 1-hour Life and Love Discovery session, which is a $500 value. Okay, Love Transformers, again, thank you to my engineer, Abraham, for a great year, and to boldbravemedia.com for hosting me. And as always, I am here to help you have the life you desire and the love that you deserve. Have a blessed and fabulous week, wonderful holiday, and I'll see you in about 10 days.
We want to thank you for joining us on this episode of Lessons in Life and Love with Coach Riana Milne. Your personal journey of life and love transformation has only just begun. Go to rianamilne.com for more resources. And if you're really ready to take action to improve your life or love situation, apply now for a free Life and Love Transformation Discovery Session with Riana, a $500 value. Just contact Riana with your questions and to tell her your story at rianamilne.com. And remember, it's time to have the life you desire and the love you deserve.